There you go, guys. This is what Junior chose to buy. Here's my problem. Of course, there's always a problem. My problem is nowhere on the item, on the box, on the bag, or the wrapping around it does it say where they were made. And it's really starting to make me wonder. Nowhere on any of this does it say where it's made. It'll focus eventually. One of these days. There you go. It's got two of those labels. The cellophane around it didn't say it. The box doesn't say it. There's nothing inside saying it. And there's nothing on here saying it. And the reason I'm not happy with that is I showed Junior. Now these push rods are hardened. The wall is 80 thousandths thick. They're one piece. They're what they call formed. So that means they form the end down into this ball and then machine it. Okay? As opposed to a stock push rod, if you look, if you follow it around, there you go. See the little dimple? That's because this ball is pushed into here and then just like crushed, spot welded. It looks more like it's dimpled in and that's it. So there's a 3-piece push rod. This is what they classify as a 1-piece push rod. Those ends are not put on there. Okay, so they're thicker wall, they're 80 thousandths, they're chrome moly, they're hardened, they're 150 thousandths longer. So we can line these up the best we can by eye. That's 150 thousandths. Okay, it's a little bit more than an eighth of an inch. Okay, but I've also seen these with other writing on them. Definitely rolling out of China for half the price. Now I've also seen these things for more money. So the question is are these just Chinese junk with Comcam's name on it? Now, Comcam's didn't write it like this on my old push rods that I know were made in the USA. Okay? The writing was much bigger. So I got a feeling I just overpaid for Chinese push rods. And we'll see. Maybe I'll give Comcam's a call for 2 hours. Now, here's something I want to show you guys real quick. See the two different heights? That's the difference in the valve geometry of two closed rocker arms. Okay, now this is before they're preloaded, the lifters. But you can see the height difference and the geometry is totally different just by stepping up. See how much longer the stud is, shorter the stud is on that. So when I tighten this down, it's definitely not going to be a 90 degree, but when I bring this thing up to half a Junior spec, okay, which is about 260 thousandths, okay, this does go 90 degrees. I just wanted to show you guys the two different heights and how that one little bit can change it. Now I've seen push rods at 50 thousandths increments and I've seen them in 100,000 increments. I haven't seen them anything other than that. There might be stuff out there, just not in the market we're dealing with. These are set right now to 0. The lifter is not mid-seated. So I just wanted to show you guys before we moved on the difference. So here we go again, guys. This is from the same bag. What is the deal with Comcam stuff? That's clearly two different vendors. Clearly two different machines. Okay? This seems to be the one I've been pulling out, but I saw that one. And let's see what else we have. That small writing. Here's another big writing one. So there's two with big writing. Small, small, small. That's small, and that's small. So for some reason, these have big writing, which eerily looks familiar. It's even different than this. That's my other one. But closer. A mint. How many different people make these things? I don't even know what I'm pointing the book at. Look at that. Clearly the one in the center is a different size. But look at the different writing on all three of them. So why did I wind up with two of these in the bag? Okay, guys. Oh, I just hung up. Let me call back again. Let me do a quick redial. And, unbelievable.
All of our agents are currently assisting other customers. Please continue to hold while they wrap up the previous call.
Okay, we're going to leave that there at 6:04, guys. I'm going to move on. I'd just like you to know that I did measure these with the caliber. They're the same exact thickness, at least, and the balls seem to be the same. Even though these balls are a little deeper than the other set. That one that I had that I was using as a mock-up. The actual ball is a little deeper. The other one was a little shallower. So I don't see any other difference. I'm just going to ask them because at this point I'm just curious. I'm just curious why I'm still using comp cams. Well, I'll tell you. The only reason I ordered these is because Junior wanted them for some reason over what I was going to get. But like I said, pull cam machining. This. It might not sound like anything to you guys, some of you guys, but that just tells me they're coming from different places, and I want to know where they're coming from when I'm handing these people this money. So that's just the way I am. I just need to know. I want to see if I get an honest answer. So, okay, just got off the phone with them. They claim that these push rods are made in the United States and Michigan. Could not answer. There's actually three of them. Could not answer why they have different writing, because you would think if they came from the same vendor they would all have the same writing. And I finally got to ask the magic question about the cam. And guess what? We started talking about the push rods again. So I never did get an answer of what the situation was with the cam and the grinding of the journals and stuff like that. So I'm not wasting any more time on the phone with them. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just leery of them at this point. When I started doing research on push rods, I started finding that there was one or two places making them for everybody, and everybody was putting their names on them. And I think that is actually true at this point. So the only problem is there's a variance in, $50, $60, $70 when you start looking at the same push rods, the same wall thickness, same material, same length, same heat treated. So that's, I don't know. So with that, guys, I'm going to start setting these up. Basically, we're at cylinder number 1, top dead center. We're going to put a little blue Loctite on these two studs at this point. Studs are all clean. They're all oil free. That sheen is the color of them. That's why nothing's oiled right now, because I want to make sure this blue Loctite stays. And then we'll oil down inside the balls or whatever it is. That has a very light coating on it. So everywhere, like I explained to Junior, will be lubable without an issue. I just don't want to put the oil on the blue Loctite because I don't trust these nuts for nothing. So we're top dead center. So basically, the way this goes is when I did my measurements, which I don't have all the tools with me again. This was all part of the thing with Junior the other day. The mid-seating or the plunger depth that I like was a half a turn. After this thing is at 0. 0 means you tighten it up till you feel heavy resistance on here and there's no movement. Now bear in mind, I don't have a lot of resistance in the lifter itself. Basically, I have a spring pressure. And then I go a half a turn, and that sets it to where I want it. Okay? Very similar to a small block Chevy, but different. Small block Chevy, some are half turn, some are 3/4 turn, some are 1 turn. You got to remember, this is a 1.6 to 1 rocker room, so there is going to be a difference in the ratio and how much it moves. Okay, so you've got to be careful with all that. You got to know what you're doing. If these were 1.7 and 1.8, it'd be a little different again. So I did all these measurements the other day. I know where I'm going to land with a half a turn. So, with that, let's work on this a little bit. I'm sick of talking, sick of calling people like Comp and all these places. We are officially done with Comp cams. I went to do these. That lift is stuck. That lift is stuck, and the first lifter was stuck. So I went to look at it. We're done. Okay, I was able to just push the lid. I knew at this point I wasn't using them, so I pushed the plunger down. The plunger is still frozen in the bore. Okay, now we got to order a set of lifters from somewhere and pull all those out. So as I walk away from this engine, totally pissed off. Totally pissed off. I have to go in the house and I have to find another vendor for lifters. We're done. I would have to actually be insane to buy another product from CompScams. Okay, I think I would have to actually have lost my noggins. And we'll get this one off. We'll get that one off. So, should have just hit with a Summit brand. Okay, with that said, guys, we're on delay again.